Hello everyone. So today's video might actually be a short one because we don't actually have to do too much coding itself, but today we're going to be doing something a little bit off the wall here. We're going to be creating a reverse boomerang. That is a boomerang that when you throw it, it throws you instead. So the coding for this is actually pretty simple, but let's go ahead and import our sprites for the boomerang, and we need to duplicate this, and we need to change the spinning speed of the animation. So first, let's go ahead and reverse this. So I'm just going to do that on camera very slowly, that way you can see kind of what we're doing here. So instead of starting with it pointing to the left, we're going to start it with it pointing to the right. So go ahead and change that around here. Then again, we need to point from up to down for the second frame, so we need to change these. And that should be a reversed animation right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy and paste all these until we get a sprite animation that is slow enough to where we can actually see it spinning. So I think that one will be good. That's spinning clockwise, it looks like. No, it's spinning counterclockwise, my bad. No, it is spinning clockwise. So we'll go ahead and change this to SPR rev boom, which is reverse boomerang, and then save it. Now with the boomerang sprite, let's go ahead and do this again. Change all the sub-images to this. So anyways, now that we have our sprite, we can create our object for it. So object rev boom, which is again reverse boomerang. Change the sprite to reverse boomerang, and we will not need too much in this, but for now we need to we don't really need too much in this. So let's go ahead and set up our collision to destroy it. So object hero, then destroy, and that'll be it for now. Now then, in our object hero, what we need is we'll do the call last. That'll be easier. So instead, what we need to do is duplicate the boomerang object, because the hero spinning object, the one where it basically throws the player, acts very much like a boomerang. So all we need to do is change the sprite to SPR man idle, and then the name to object hero spin, and then in the step event, hold on, in the collision event, go ahead and change or delete the object hero thing right there. Then in the normal step, we'll go to this. Now this whole thing is going to be changing. First of all, we need to delete the exclamation point in this and change this to keyboard check pressed, like that. Then we need to first do something else here, so we'll do instance create xy object hero, and then with object rev boom. And I'll explain a with statement here in just a moment, because I believe this is the first time you've seen it. And then below that, you do instance destroy. Okay, so what a with statement does is it basically executes this, whatever is within it, as it were within this object. So basically what we're telling the object reverse boomerang to do is to perform this action when b return is equal to true within this thing. So this is actually a very good way to affect other instances of objects within a different object without using, advanced crazy shit. So you do want to be very careful with this though, because this can technically lock up the game. But as long as you set it up properly, then you won't need to worry about it. So we set this to do this, when bReturn is true, and all of the other stuff is pretty much set, so this all will be exactly the same. And I think that might be about it. Now let's set up the call. So actually, first let's move this up here. So there's that. Now in your object hero, in your step event, the call function is going to be a little bit similar to this, but a little bit different as well. So what we need is reverse boomerang call. Anyways, what we need is a check for the keyboard. So if keyboard check, oopsie, check pressed ord X. Now I'm going to be putting it on the same key as this, but we're going to be using a weapon switch variable to determine which one is active at the same time. But we're probably going to be setting that up in the next episode instead of this one. So keyboard check pressed ord X. Then here's what it'll do. Instance create XY object hero spin. Instance create XY object reverse boomerang, and then instance destroy. Now there is another function that you could potentially use for a system similar to this. It's called instance change, if I spell it right. But the problem with this particular system and this function is the fact that even if you set it up properly, the instance that you change into is not, it doesn't work properly with the current variables of this instance, because this one will already be destroyed when it's created. So we need to create the hero spin object first and then destroy this object, and that will allow the hero spin to work properly. So in order to make this work properly at the moment, we need to disable our regular boomerang. So we'll go ahead and do a bulk comment, if you remember how to do that. And that will disable our boomerang call. Now we have our reverse boomerang call, which we don't actually need a global get reverse boomerang variable yet for, but anyways, we have our reverse boomerang call, and this should, in theory, work. And if it doesn't, I'll have the bug fix, no biggie. And as you can see, okay, so I know why that's the case. Okay, so the final thing that we need to do is set up the fix for this, because I actually forgot a step here. We need to do if instance number of object reverse boomerang is less than less than 1, then it will do this. And that should fix that problem. Okay, let's test this out now. And that works perfectly. So this is the reverse boomerang. Now I do have to do one more thing, because at the moment you can move out of the way, and if it's outside the room, you won't ever be able to spawn another one again. So in order to fix that, we go to modify, we add an event to our reverse boomerang. It's in other, and then when it says the one that says outside room, it should be the top one. Then we go to instance destroy, and that will fix that issue. Now when the boomerang is outside the room, it will destroy the instance. We can also set it up to where if it's outside the view, it'll destroy the instance, but we might not want to do that either. But as you can see now, it will work perfectly regardless of where I'm at. Now I did actually notice that I need to fix that as well, because since we copied and pasted it, the general collision thing here is a little bit wrong. This is not what we need. We need move contact solid. Move contact solid. It's basically the same thing as if the hero itself hit the collision. So it'll be direction and 12. So that way it will automatically stop the spinning hero from moving through the walls or bouncing off the walls. So that will be the fix for that. Then, like I said, in the next episode, we will work on the variables to assign that will give you the item, and that'll be that. So thank you all very much for watching this rather short video, or shorter video anyway, and stay tuned for the next one.